News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. Wall Street staging a comeback. Dip buyers are emerging, lifting stocks as chip makers rebounded while data signaled the economy is in good shape, just not overheating. Equities held gains after data showed a pickup in consumer spending and solid business investment, even as the economy grew at a weaker than expected pace. Microsoft shares 15% higher after posting its fastest cloud growth in 4 years. Meta shares 9% lower after having to defend its AI bets to skeptical investors. David Kirkpatrick is founder of Techonomy Media and says Meta is getting bogged down by legal troubles.
An analysis of these results yesterday was that if they hadn't set aside $2.4 billion for legal contingencies, they would have made their earnings number, which they missed. $2.4 billion for most companies would be a really serious problem that you're expecting to pay that kind of money out because of legal settlements.
Techonomy founder David Kirkpatrick on Bloomberg Intelligence. U.S. economic growth did moderate in the second quarter. Chief Economic Advisor at the White House, Kevin Hassett, says those numbers are being misinterpreted.
Final sales were up almost 4%. We had a big boom in consumption, a big boom in investment. We even had big positive housing numbers, and those were offset in the bottom line because the capital spending that we're doing is imported capital goods, which so you subtract imports from that, and then also because of technical changes in the price of oil.
NEC Director Kevin Hassett on the Bloomberg Talks podcast. We do check markets for you all day long here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 up 1%, NASDAQ up 2.25%, the Dow up 0.5%. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.66%, the 2-year yield at 4.22%. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index is more than 7% higher, led by Micron, which jumped 15%. UEFA members have agreed to boycott the World Cup if FIFA moves forward with a planned sale. Bloomberg Business of Sports reporter Randall says this is huge.
So you think about the members of UEFA. It is the world champion, Spain. It is one of the final four, three of the final four, now that I think about it. It is England. It is France. It is Croatia. It is Portugal, where Cristiano Ronaldo plays. And so a lot of these superpowers in the global business of football and the global sport of football are saying, you do this and we're out. That strips the World Cup of a lot of its popularity.
Hear more from Randall Williams on the Bloomberg Intelligence podcast. FIFA's plans were to raise as much as $4.2 billion from a new holding company at external investors, including Thrive, which is owned by Joshua Kushner, a venture capitalist with family ties to President Trump. Now, the president says he may pull acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General. Today's vote on Blanche's nomination was delayed by the Senate Judiciary Committee because of a lack of support from key Republicans. Senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis are demanding more assurances about the settlement of President Trump's lawsuit against the IRS. The U.S. and Iran exchanged airstrikes, Washington hitting dozens of Iranian military targets, Iran targeting air bases in Jordan and Kuwait. They paused the exchange of strikes to give diplomacy a chance, but that lull ended with Tehran carrying out a surprise attack on an American base in Jordan. Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall is at the White House.
Pakistan's foreign ministry said that there are talks happening behind the scenes between U.S. and Iran negotiators, though he didn't give us any further information beyond that, and that those talks are focused on reopening shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, because we know that that is the number one obstacle at this point. Before we can even talk about what those potential talks would look like on curbs to Iran's nuclear program.
Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall on Bloomberg Intelligence. Jersey Mike's Subs and some of its shareholders raised $1 billion in an IPO that priced at the midpoint of its marketed range. Bloomberg's equity capital market reporter Anthony Hughes.
You've got a situation here where this is a company that was bought by Blackstone in early 2025, and they're already looking to take it public and crystallize some gains. On the face of it, it looks like the IPO valuation is not too much higher than the price at which they paid for it.
Bloomberg's Anthony Hughes on Bloomberg Intelligence. Jersey Mike's launches its IPO today under the ticker symbol JMKE. Starbucks chairman and CEO Brian Niccol says store upgrades are boosting transactions and customers are spending more per visit.
We've got better throughput in the mornings. We also have better throughput in the afternoons. And frankly, as a result, all day long, our transactions are up throughout the day. And when you kind of pull that back, yes, customers are loving the experience, but our partners are doing a great job of being staffed as a team, deploying deployed correctly, and then consistently executing the Green Apron Service model.
Shares of Starbucks about 4% higher. Hear more from Starbucks CEO Brian Niccol on the Bloomberg Talks podcast. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.